What is up, everybody? Welcome to the live Q&A. Today, we're going to answer any questions you've got about the Baby Maker, e-bikes in general, and you can also meet more of our staff. We did just post a pretty exciting update yesterday with some developments in Spain. As you know, the components we were waiting on in Spain finally cleared, so we're back in business there. Bikes are being built, and tomorrow, a shipment is finally going out after a several-week delay. We do have enough components to build about 5 shipments worth of bikes. So we've got quite a good runway to clear more components. We do have a container that we're waiting on as well. So hopefully it will clear by the time those bikes are finished so we can continue with production as usual. I'll be answering any of your questions that you ask in the live chat. As usual, 2:10 p.m., Troy will come in for a global status update. And at 2:45, Mark will be in to answer any mechanical related questions, whether it's tricking out your bike or if you have an issue with it or just want to talk specs in general. Mark is the guy for that. All right, first question from RHSCPA. When are the touring packages being shipped? Those are being shipped now, so we've shipped out quite a few of them. And in the last update, it depends on your location as well, but we did mention how we have one container with 825 touring packages on it. I'm trying to find exactly which container that is here. I believe it is C20. I had it in here. I think it's C20. I might be wrong on that. Maybe it's C19, but one of those has a almost complete container full of touring packages headed for the US. We're also sending them out for the EU and UK in the next couple weeks, but Troy will be able to give you a better update on that. Norman, hi Rob, I got my bike and I'm having some issue. Every once in a while in my bike I get an error on the LCD screen and lose power assist, so I have to stop pedaling for a few seconds and then power goes on. Norman, if you could please document that error for us, so take a photo of it or a video even would be best. Send that to our support team, support@flx.bike. We'll want to know what error code it was and under what circumstances you get it so that one of our mechanics can troubleshoot with you and either make an adjustment to fix it or send you out a replacement component if there is a component that has failed. Tim, hi Rob, do you know how many bikes are being shipped to the Netherlands in total? Tim, I can try and get you a number if you give me a second here. Do you mean orders from the Netherlands or orders shipping out from the Netherlands? Because our fulfillment center is in the Netherlands, so all of the bikes for the EU go through the Netherlands. Let me get you an idea on bikes just to the Netherlands alone, though, orders there. Jim, I ordered a step-through touring model on May 4th. Is that part of the touring package now headed for the US? No, Jim, that will ship with your bike. So Baby Makers are a little bit different because it was a crowdfunding campaign and there were so many orders. Those are being shipped separately. For the step-through, though, that should ship in the box with the step-through when those come in. All right, Netherlands. I'm showing 91 orders, so around 100, 91, 100, depends on if we had orders elsewhere. Hi, Rob. Good to hear. The positive news seems to be outweighing negative. I know it's inexact and we have the end of July, but I was hoping if I could get a firmer UK arrival for a bike ordered in the 13,000s. Thank you. Emerald Citizen, if it's in the 13,000s, you are towards the end of the major batch, the major volume of bikes. So you'll be closer to the end of once we get caught up on everything, all the Indiegogo pre-orders and everything. I can't tell you an exact date, unfortunately, because there are so many variables. But right now, July 31st is our target. It is tight for EU and UK. Basically, if everything lines up and we don't get hit with anything unexpected, we'll come right down to the wire with those. So we're going to keep everybody posted on how it's going. Right now, we've got some good news and hope to keep that momentum up. Danny, do you know if my order is part of NL4? I'm contribution ID 5423, placed on May 3rd, 2020. It's a Black Pro 23 bullhorns. Danny, unfortunately, I do not know whose bike is in which container, but we do send out emails. So when your bike is allocated, we'll send you an email saying, hey, your bike's been built, it's on this boat, and it's coming with an approximate arrival date of so and so. So please keep an eye out. If you did not get that email, hang tight for it. It should be coming soon. If you did get it, that will have the information with what shipment you're in or approximately when to expect it. Derek, I want to put a front rack on my Baby Maker Pro. Which one would you suggest? Derek, I have not done that. I don't have any suggestions for you, but I'm going to save your question for Mark once he's in here, coming in at 2:45. And if you go to the official Baby Maker owners group on Facebook, I believe I've seen some people who have installed a front rack that look really sharp. So I'd go in there and search rack or search front rack in the Facebook group, and you'll be able to find what other people have done. They look really sharp. Alphonse, hey Rob, how are you? I had a tech question, been working with Mark and trying to reach him on the e-brakes and battery issue. He said he was trying to send a kit, and I documented it. What's the best way to reach support? I have a Zendesk ticket, but not sure how long the response should be. Alphonse, yeah, email is the best way to reach support. It's support@flx.bike. If you haven't had a response in a reasonable amount of time, sometimes it can take 1 to 3 business days. I would maybe follow up with another email if it's been more than like 3 business days. But usually we're pretty quick and get responses same day, unless it's a more complicated issue that requires specific mechanical knowledge of that exact issue from our mechanics. Hi, Rob. In terms of wear and tear on the motor, is it better to gradually shift up the pass from 0 to 5, or can I just gun it in 5 from the start? Any different or taxing on the motor? Ray, that's a great question. Personally, I never worry about it. All I know is level 5, and I haven't had an issue ever with the motor, but it's up to you, and especially for the folks who might be a little bit heavier than me or in riding conditions where you're going up steep hills immediately. If you babied it, technically it would be a little bit less stress on the motor. So that could be something that could prolong it a little bit longer than usual. There are gears inside the motor, so it definitely won't hurt to baby it. It's something I don't worry about, but you're welcome to ride it any way you like, and I appreciate that you want to take care of the motor. A Zimmer 12,000, 2 bikes, same order, 1 received, yahoo! The second doesn't even have an allocation letter. Is this normal, same size and config, just color different? Thanks for everything. Yes, that is normal. As we do build the bikes in batches, there can be quite a bit of discrepancy on the exact dates that they do come in. If they came in at the same time, it's probably just an issue of one color was built a little bit before the other one. In terms of just that batch, it's not like we're building all the black bikes and then all the silver bikes. It's 20 of these at a time, 30 of those, and go on from there. So we do our absolute best to allocate them in terms of when the order was placed, but there will be some discrepancies just due to production constraints and also geographical location. Jean Noel Pedro Navu. I butchered that name. Your website says the F5 will be shipped in June. Are you still on schedule with the F5? Yes, we actually, in the last production update, mentioned a shipment of F5s that is on the way. Let me get the exact ship number for you. If we have it written here in the update. I'm going to have to pull up my notes because mine's a little bit different than the update. We have 3 people writing these updates. That's how much info goes into it, and my notes are a little bit different than everybody's else. But I think we had like 87 trails on the shipment with trails on it, and that has just set sail. So we're pretty much on target for that to arrive mid to end of June, I believe. I'm going to find that and pull it up for you when we get some time. Norman, thanks, Rob. I'll try my best to record and document to show you guys the issue. Another question, do you just sell the rear rack? Norman, yes, we'll be selling all of the components for the Baby Maker. I don't know if we have the rack in stock just yet by itself, So you can check our website, the component section. If you see it there, go ahead and order it. But I would guess that it's probably not in stock yet, just as we're still waiting on a lot of the touring package components to come in. Emerald Citizen, thanks, fingers still crossed. Tim, okay, thanks for the info. Waiting for the baby maker to arrive. Awesome. George, have the allocation letters for C20 come out yet? I'm stoked for my trail. So it must have been C20. George might have me beat on the container with trails in it. I'm just pulling up my notes for the last one. What's going on, Troy?
Hey.
Which container has the trails on it?
The trails are on C20.
C20. Okay,
Yes,
George has got it right.
That is due to arrive right at the end of May. Oh, they can hear me. Oh, I know they can see me.
Oh man. Hang on. Having some microphone setup issues here.
That's what happens when you let the face do technical stuff. All right.
All right, Troy. How are you doing today?
I'm well.
Why don't you scoot into the scene a little bit more?
A little closer?
Yeah, that's better.
You want me to see or just sit closer to you?
Yeah, you better sit a little closer to the camera so your muscles look bigger.
Bigger than what? Okay, yes.
I'm just teasing.
So F5 trails, those are on C20. That is the OOCL London. That's due to arrive 529, between 527 and 529, and then of course time to birth and transfer and all that jazz. So yeah, we're certainly on probably mid-June, maybe late mid-June, something like that. Go to marinetraffic.com. You can keep track of it. It's kind of a fun website, actually. You go there and you can look up any of these ships that we talk about, and you can kind of scroll back and see how many ships are on the water at any given time. When the whole thing with the Suez Canal happened, even now, go look at the Suez Canal and how many ships are on each side of that waiting to get through. And it's kind of interesting. It's really, really very informative. Any other questions, or should I launch into this whole thing?
I will have some questions. It looks like whoever signed in as FLX Bike is answering all the questions for us.
Oh, good.
So I don't even have a job to do. Whoever's doing that, we can take care of them.
Okay.
All right.
So lots of updates. We shipped over 1,000 bikes last week. So I know someone said, well, the percent shipped for the U.S. didn't really change last week. That's true because we didn't allocate anymore, although there are allocation letters going out today, but the number delivered jumped substantially. So we've moved a lot of bikes, and we'll just go through where we're at. So containers, T2 and T3, T4, T5, and C18 are all shipped. Those are all gone. We moved those all last week and the end of the previous week. One exception, and that is we basically consolidated all the Alaska and Hawaii orders that we had in all of those containers, and we cut the bill of lading for Alaska bikes. I think it was 11 bikes today, so those will be moving to onto Alaska, and then I forgot how many bikes it was to Hawaii. So a little bit of a delay there, but they go back on the water because of the batteries, but they are on their way. C19, the MOL Prestige, that's berthed. The container is unloaded, cleared customs. We're just waiting a warehouse arrival. That is, that one has a ton of the touring kits. So if you're waiting for a touring kit, all but the 19-inch Pro Silver, there is 825 touring kits on C19. So we're just awaiting warehouse arrival on that. And then we'll send them all the labels, and those will start moving. It's a lot. It'll take a few days for them to move those out, but they are fairly light, so the handling is a bit easier. Let's see. Next one's up, T6-1. We just sent out address confirms on that today. That sailed 5/6. It's due in tomorrow, and actually, it's up by Santa Barbara coming in. And actually, I'm sorry, I have this backwards. I have these ships switched here. T6-1 is the CSCL Spring. That actually is at anchor waiting to berth at Long Beach. Those allocation letters are also going out, but both the T6-1 and T6-2, the other one is the CSCL Bohai C. That's the one that's up by Santa Barbara, and it is on its way. We just talked about C20, that has the trails on it, another 189 baby makers, and 220 touring kits. These are the Pro 19 silver touring kits. We have not sent out the allocation letters on that, but if you're awaiting a Pro 19 silver touring kit, it should be on that one. There's 220 of those touring kits. I have a ship name, the SM Ningbo, Ningbo. And that one it has not sailed yet. It's being packed right now and moving. T7-1, we just sent out the allocation letters for that. That's the Costco Taichung?
Taitan.
Taitung?
Taitan.
I'm still learning. By the time it gets here, might be able to pronounce it. That departed on the 15th and is on its way. Again, we just sent out allocation letters for that. The other one, T7-2, we haven't sent out allocation letters on that one yet. That one has been delayed. It was originally planned to leave the 21st. It's now moved back to the 25th. So as soon as that is sailing, we will send out the allocation letters for that. And then T8 is on the board. That's 225 baby makers. Those are still in packaging. They haven't gone into a container and have not moved to the harbor yet, but we will probably have all that information next week. And again, as soon as they go on the waters, when we send out the allocation letter. That's North America. Let's see, do I have a note here? I think we're good. You want me to
Let's
stop
see if
and
we got
take a
any
breath
questions
and
for
see
you.
if we have any
Yeah, so you
questions?
can take a breath. All right. Trev, this Superman name is really catching on. Trevnod says, "Hi, I hope I haven't missed Superman's update." He's here in the flesh. Trevnod. James says, "Love my Baby Maker Pro. Despite the showery weather in the UK, I have managed over 50 miles on the Baby Maker since it arrived just a week ago."
Oh, yeah. I saw his post on Facebook. I believe.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love seeing that. The Facebook post, like, okay, let's get more. Loving it.
That's funny. All right, let me see if there's any questions for you. Chris says, "Hi, Mr. Superman. May I know which courier are you using for my country, Indonesia?"
Oh,
Any
you know
idea?
what? I think you asked that before.
I might have stumped you again.
Yeah, you did. I'm sorry. Let me get a courier list on some of those.
Sweet. All right, crack on. I'll get back to you.
Crack on. Okay, UK2, that is shipped complete with the exception of a few VATs unpaid. It looks like we're clearing those up, so I don't want to crush anybody's hopes that I know people have said, can I buy a bike that the VAT is unpaid? It looks like we're going to clear those up. So UK2 is going to be completely gone. I talked about the update. We've cleared customs, so we're working on that. Tufnell site issue, we're still working on the tracking. I have a manual method of doing it, but the first time we uploaded tracking, it did not work for the UK, so our apologies on that. Either they'll have it fixed or we'll do our manual workaround for UK3 and we'll get good tracking. If you have concerns about tracking, let's support at FLX.bike and we actually have good tracking. The problem is once we get bad tracking in Indiegogo, we have to go through support and it is not swift in its resolution, unfortunately. I mean, they do a good job, but getting that cleaned up is a little bit tougher. NL4. We originally said that was going to be 112 bikes leaving today. The bad news is it's not leaving until tomorrow. The good news is it's actually 129 bikes. So what we did was we've moved up some standard 23 Sterling ups, not all of them, from NL5 to NL4. So we've accelerated those bikes coming to these, but those will be on the truck tomorrow morning. They're all packed up. UK3 is in WIP. That's 128 bikes. We have a tentative date of 5/25 for those to leave. The address confirms pretty much will go out the day before it leaves. So actually NL4 address confirms just went out today. Again, since we have such a short turnaround going to Europe, please, if your address has changed, let us know.
What does it mean to be in WIP?
WIP, work in process, basically means they are building the bikes.
Awesome.
Good question. Okay, again, that's a mix of pro and standards. Again, both NL4 and UK3 have Sterlings in them. Those are the ones we were waiting on the wheels for, and those are moving. Next one up is NL5. We have a tentative date on that one of 6/3 to go on the truck. That's another 128 baby makers. We have been moving the builds around a little bit because, again, NL4, they were able to get another 17 bikes, so we took them and we moved some additional bikes from NL6 to NL5, so that we're kind of accelerating that. So with NL4, I didn't have a chance to update the number of countries list, but we have in NL4, we'll be shipping our first bikes to the following countries: Romania, Croatia, Estonia, Lithuania, and Poland will all be getting their bikes. Wow. So yeah, it's kind of neat. Just it's an equipment malfunction. Okay, we talked about touring kits are getting ready to ship. We've been really focusing on getting the container C13, C14 ready to go, getting all of that stuff put together. And again, we were waiting for the 19 Pro Silver touring kits so we could put all those together. One shipment going to the Netherlands, one shipment going to the UK, and those, again, won't go through Spain. And that's pretty much Europe update. I do have a couple of clarifications. So on the low volume locations, do you want me to stop? Keep going?
You're good, yeah.
Okay. Hong Kong. We had a couple of people from Hong Kong contact us. So we only shipped 25 of 31 bikes to Hong Kong. The other 6 are going to be going this week. I thought they had shipped complete. That was the information I had. There's really not tracking numbers because the courier, basically, they take a truck, they take them all, and they go point to point to point to point, and they deliver all of these in Hong Kong. So 6 more bikes are coming for Hong Kong. Japan is the remaining 58. Those are shipping. They're still moving those along. It's been a little bit, that one's been a little bit slow. Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, I'm awaiting tracking on those. I will get that, and I'll also get the courier list for those so you folks know who to expect that from. Korea and Taiwan, we have most of the information we need. We're still waiting for national IDs from a few people in Taiwan and the PCCC, Personal Customs Clearance Code, from all but 3 people in Korea. So as soon as we can re-invoice those, we'll move those. So those were shipped, but again, they had to be re-invoiced, so that kind of came to a stop. UAE, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Thailand, I am actually doing the invoices for those right now, so those will be transmitted to China tonight, and they will start working on getting those fulfilled also. I think that's it.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, let's see if we got some questions for you, Troy. Thank you for the update. Chris asked, when is Sarah coming on? She won't be on today's live. You're stuck with Troy.
I know you guys really like Sarah. I understand.
Yeah.
So
she's been really, really busy the past few days.
She
Lot to handle. A lot of questions coming in. Doing a crack up job.
She does. She's amazing. She really is.
All right, we got Chris's question.
Her boyfriend is an absolute warrior too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're not small guys, and he'd peel us like a couple of bananas.
All right, Mark.
Okay.
Mark wants to know, hey Rob and Troy, when's the next Hawaii shipment, and will that fulfill all existing orders?
The answer is we're doing the bill of lading for the latest one. We consolidated a bunch of Hawaii out of all these containers from T2 through T5 and C18. So we just did the bill of lading. Richard just did it this morning for Alaska, and he's working on the one for Hawaii, and then those will be on the water. So again, with Alaska and Hawaii, the trick is you're going to get tracking numbers, and it'll show pending, pending, pending for several weeks because they don't get active until they're scanned into FedEx ground system when they get to Alaska or when they get to Hawaii, because they're on FedEx Freight until then. And those tracking numbers mean absolutely nothing to FedEx Freight. Those are simply ground numbers. So don't get frustrated. When you get a tracking number, it actually means it's moving through LCL, less than container load, to either Alaska or Hawaii. Will it fulfill all of Hawaii? The answer to that is no. There's still some left.
Great. Thank you, Troy.
Oh, someone was asking, so I just wanted people to understand the mix of bikes that we ship. We build in batches, and there's big deltas between different models in terms of the quantities that have been ordered. So someone asking about a Pro 23 matte black upper in Europe. That was an extremely popular model, actually worldwide, hundreds of them ordered. So when we give the order numbers, you might say, well, how come this guy has a higher order number than me? Well, in some cases we had like some that were very low quantities, like a standard Berry 19 dropper. I think there was like 3 of them in all of Europe, something like that. So when you ask about order numbers, it's a little bit misleading. I'll tell you, if you look at it, the highest order number we fulfilled in Europe is 13,775. Okay, it's a low quantity bike. We built all of them at once, and actually I didn't bring it with me, but there's some models of Europe that when we get through UK3 and NL4, that model will be completely fulfilled. Some of those matte blacks, some of those strings, some of those really higher quantity ones are going to take additional builds to get those done. So
Great.
order number isn't always, it can be a little bit misleading because they're not all built in the same quantities.
But we're doing our best. All right, Mike says, hopefully I get an answer on my 4th time of asking, who is the carrier from mainland Spain? I ask because I live deep in the countryside where no deliveries are made, and I need to collect from their depot. Do you know the carrier for Spain?
Well, I actually put that question to Fulfillment Solutions, and I was told it was CTS in Spain.
CTS.
So, yeah, CTS.
Great.
So that's where all the tracking numbers come from. Now, they may contract with some, and actually, I mean, for some very remote locations, FedEx does the same thing, like in the Yukon and things like that. So they may contract with somebody else, but you will get a meaningful tracking number. If you have a serious concern about it, go through support. They'll come to me, and we'll make sure. There are some people who are in some really remote locations, and sometimes it kind of breaks down a little bit.
Great.
In terms of the tracking, not the delivery, but it's just not everybody. FedEx doesn't deliver everywhere in North America, and CTS may not deliver, especially if you're in a remote location. You may have to pick those up.
Awesome. How about next final question for you, Troy? Will we get a shipping verification for the touring kit or anything from FedEx? I've got my baby maker.
Yes, you will.
Yes, they will.
Yeah, you will get an address verification for your touring kit.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
All right, Troy. Well, thank you so much.
It?
Yeah, that's everything I got.
That was easy.
Thanks
Okay.
so much for the update,
right.
all the answers. Big round of applause for Troy.
Enjoy your baby makers.
Rockstar. Okay. I did miss a few questions that were not relevant to Troy. So we'll fire through those now. And Mark is going to come in at approximately 2:45, but we are making good progress on this live. Not too many questions. I think that means most people have got their bikes. We are at 75% fulfilled, I believe, on the baby maker. Super excited about that. All right, Mike, touring packages for the U.S. are where? Got my new Baby Maker Pro, and I'm loving it. Mike, we have shipped quite a few touring packages. There's also more in the works. There is a container with 825 touring packages on its way, so a lot more coming. If you haven't got it yet, please hang tight. We will be sending emails out when your touring package goes out. Claudia, we're still waiting for our baby makers, which were ordered on June 20th, 2020. Any arrival updates for California? How do we know which ship hours are on? So, Claudia, we will send out an email to you when your baby maker has been completely built and we've allocated it. That means we've finished it, it's on a container, and you're the next one up in line for that model of bike. We'll send you out an email that says, hey, it's been allocated. You can expect it at an approximate date. For now, though, we do have a target to deliver every single baby maker by July 31st. We're right on target for the U.S. So California, New York, no matter where you are in the U.S., we're on target for that. So you can expect it between now and July 31st, Claudia. Bill Purcell, I'm tired of the bullshit excuses on delays. I would like a refund, please. It is required under Indiegogo's terms of use that bind me, you, and them. You are in breach. How do I get the refund? Bill, I totally get where you're coming from on that. We were very clear in the campaign that you order a bike, you get a bike. Unfortunately, we cannot do refunds, as was stated in our campaign. Also on Indiegogo, we're not in breach. We are making every best effort to get the bike to you. But after you place the order, we take your order and we build you a bike. So we've been doing that. We ordered everything to build it. And I saw that you're in the US, so that means your bike is just around the corner. It'll be there sometime between now and July 31st. So apologies for the agonizing wait. I know how it is. It will be well worth it. That bike is being made, and you're going to have it very soon. Mike, we got your question. John, the Bohai Sea is at the mouth of the harbor waiting for tugs. Awesome. That's cool that you're tracking the ship all the way to port. Mary L., I think I might have missed your question earlier. My bad. All right, if I missed other ones, I'll get back to those now. Kind of jumped around here with Troy in here. Mary, as a 5'3" rider, I'm looking for a narrower handlebar. The Baby Maker comes with a 19-inch width, and my other road bikes are 17-inch. Any thoughts on where I can get one? Mary, I'd go to a bike shop. Any local bike shop will be able to work on these bikes. They're very simple, just like any regular bike. And it's just as simple as taking the current handlebars off, putting new ones on, make sure they're the same spec. A bike shop will be able to do that, and you're set to go. You can also order some on Amazon if you're handy. You'll need to rewrap the bars if you have drop bars. All right, where did we leave off? Mary, plus if I change out my handlebar, all the newer ones are thicker and my speed mode odometer won't fit around it. That is a good point, Mary. You'll want to find one that is the same thickness as your current bars. There's also some accessories you can get that will mount from your current bars, and it will put an accessory bar on it. You can find one that's the same size as your original bar. That would be a workaround if you wanted some thicker bars. Javier, what does the tracking email look like? So that will come from shipping@flx.bike. We've got several emails that go out. One is an allocation letter saying we've built your bike and allocated it to you. Another one is a shipping address confirmation. So confirm your shipping address, make sure you haven't moved and we ship it to the wrong place. And then the third one will be a tracking email. And you should get one of those from Indiegogo when we input your tracking number, and likely also one from us. Jordan, just on a lighter note, Rob, are you taking requests? You look like a DJ, man. LOL. I wish I had some musical skill. Unfortunately, not something I focus on, Jordan, but I will take some requests if you got any song requests. Jeremy, any idea which container mine would be in? Jeremy, I've got no idea on that. Unfortunately, I can't look them up. FLX Bike, I'm not sure if they looked into that. Oh, they did. Whoever's on FLX Bike account answered, you're on 7-1, T7-1. Awesome. Thank you, FLX Bike. Trev Nod, when will we get UK3 address confirmation? Sorry if I missed that part. So UK3 will be going out after NL4, which goes out tomorrow. So that'll probably be next week. Trev Nod. Chris Link, I tried to defend negative thoughts about you guys in the Facebook Owners Club, and they think I'm working for you guys. I get that, Chris. There's some folks that only want to see the negative in things, and if you look hard enough, that's all you'll see as well. So no worries. There are, the vast majority of everybody super happy because they've got their bikes already, and once you get your bike, I'm sure the folks in that group will feel the same way as well. Tim Ferriss, a German female teacher where I work, keeps asking to see my Baby Maker, the bike. We laugh every time. She also said it takes 9 months to make a baby. Why does it take a year for the Baby Maker? Tim, that's funny. I'm I'm glad you guys have some fun with the name. You know, not everybody loves it. Some people hear it and they scoff, and some people hear it and they smile. And those are the people we made it for. You know, if you're positive, happy, enjoy life, we made the bike for you. You know, the more negative people, you know, it is funny, but you know, it's not for everybody. Running Heart, looking forward to my touring package. Awesome, can't wait to get it for you. Jeremy Nguyen, I'm stoked. Peter, will we get a shipping verification for touring kit or anything from FedEx? I've got my baby maker. Yes, you will get an email from us saying your touring package has shipped. Probably also get an address verification email just to make sure you haven't moved between receiving the baby maker and your touring package. By the way, I'm drinking a LII GT liquid IV and ice green tea, especially in the summer. Man, it's a great pick-me-up. Gets rid of that brain fog in the afternoon. John Train, I think mine's on CSCL Bohai C, which is moving up the main channel in LA. Awesome. Chris says, you are my rocks, Mr. Kent. That's for you, Troy, if you're watching. Jeff says, the wait is because it's worth it. Saturn Hobbies, hi there. Any chance to get info about 6939? I can't give out any specific information. I don't know it. I'm not up to speed on those. All I can say is when you get the email, that will have specific info. But if the FLX bike account finds anything, I'm sure they'll post it here. Raul N. 2 issues. Lifetime odometer stuck at 9337 and is being worked on by Colin. Does not affect the operation. Other issue is there seems to be a friction noise between the front disc brake and the disc. Raul, I actually did see an image of your odometer. It was really strange. I think you sent that into our support team. Thank you so much for that. We're investigating that right now as it is a strange phenomenon. His odometer is showing 9337 out of the box, which is really strange. Not how it's supposed to work. So we're looking into that. As far as the noise you're getting for the front disc brake, oftentimes those do need to be adjusted, especially after shipping. What can happen is things can move around a little bit, get pressed a little. So it's a really easy adjustment. You can adjust where your calipers sit on that bike so it's right in line with the disc. The other adjustment is sometimes the disc can get a little bit warped in shipping. And my fix for that, obviously be very, very careful if you do this, but taking it up a hill and doing it safely, under your own discretion, taking it up a hill and riding down with a little bit of brake pressure on the affected brake, that will heat up the disc and pull it straight. It's pretty cool if that's the issue, being the warped disc. Running Heart, do the higher levels of motor power definitely use more battery if I'm also pedaling faster? Running Heart, that is a great question. So not necessarily. If you're pedaling slow in level 3, like so slow that the motor is doing all the work, the motor is going to be using more power probably than if you were at level 5 and giving it everything you got in a full sprint where the motor's only adding a little bit of power to you. So not necessarily, but in general, 99% of the cases, it's going to be more battery life used on the higher levels. Trevnon, mine was relevant for Troy. Did I miss yours? I answered yours, Trevnon. All right. John Train, 12662. Bill Purcell, you are in breach. I read through the terms. I do not agree with that, but you're welcome to email us wherever you believe that is so, Bill. But your bike is almost here. It'll be there before July 31st. Mark Mayu, hello and goodbye, everybody. Good to see you, Mark. Peter Yan, thank you, Troy. Himanshu, hi, what is the saddle post diameter? I used to know this offhand. I don't have it offhand, so I don't want to put my foot in my mouth with the wrong number. Not even going to say anything. I'm going to save this one for Mark, who should be in about 5 minutes. He's up to speed on all the specs, how to customize, etc. So, Himanshu, I'm going to defer that to Mark once he's in here. Nilesh received my baby maker yesterday evening. Going to assemble it now. Thanks, FLX team. Awesome to hear, Nilesh. Really excited you got the baby maker. Chris, about Phantom, can I sell it here, Rob? Chris, I believe you are in touch with the Miles team about the Phantom. I will let them follow up with you on that. FLX Troy at Trevnod. Oh, Troy's on here too. Awesome. Bill Purcell, not good enough. You made several promises and inducements in your marketing effort, which within the Indiegogo terms of service puts you in breach. Refund, please. How? Bill, we never promised a delivery date. We made estimates of the delivery. Again, because it's a new product, there's no way we can possibly know exactly when everything will finish. There's no way we can anticipate if there will be a delay for example, component shortages, which is what happened with this massive COVID bike explosion, nuking the entire supply chain. But we're almost there, Bill. Unfortunately, we can't do a refund. We're already building your bike. We've already put all that money towards building it. We are not in breach. We made estimates. We're way behind those estimates. Let's be real. But we're almost there. It's just around the corner. And Bill, it will be well worth the wait. Zachariah, what accessories are silver in the touring packages for the Sterling? So that's going to be the rack and the fenders. Nilesh says DJ Rob only knows how to spin bikes. Phil, has anyone at FLX looked at any two-speed bottom bracket gears for belt drive like the Capstan Doppio? I'm going to look that up, and we'll also ask Mark when he's in here, Phil. We did have somebody looking into a bottom bracket drive. So far, nothing promising at the moment with the testing, but if you do find anything that's cool, anything that would increase the performance of the bike, we're all ears, so please send any suggestion our way. We want to build you guys the best bikes out there. Rex, hoping for any insight onto my baby maker delivery. Contribution ID 9083. 19 Pro Blue Raspberry Bullhorns. And he says, keeping the faith, brother. Hey, thank you, Rex. Unfortunately, I can't give you an exact date on your contribution, 9083. We are aiming to deliver all these by July 31st. In the U.S., we're right on target. So, Rex, if you're in the U.S., it's looking very good for there. It's tight in the U.K. and EU, but we do have some good news there. So, we're building momentum in Spain. Chris, Rob, for charging the baby maker battery, is it okay to charge it overnight? It will disconnect the charge automatically after it is fully charged, right? Chris, that's correct. It does come with a smart charger. Once it's fully charged, it will stop charging it. It does have like a small current kind of going back and forth, so I wouldn't recommend leaving it on for days, weeks, months at a time, but overnight, not a big issue. Awaken Sleeper, Rob, we really appreciate the weekly updates and live. It really is above and beyond what every other crowdfunding campaign does. Also, love how you acknowledge and deflect the negative energy. Thank you so much, Awaken Sleeper. We're doing our best, and I get it if people are upset. You know, we had some estimates. A lot of bikes ship before the estimates, ahead of schedule, but the majority are shipping behind the estimates, unfortunately, due to causes beyond our control. We're doing our absolute best. I can tell you there's a team here of about 20 people working their asses off every single day to deliver every single bike, and we're already 75% fulfilled. So 3/4 of the way there. We're at third base, bringing it home right now. In the next 2 months, everybody's going to have their bike. Todd, I am so happy with my baby maker. It went together just like the vid, runs so smooth, controls, disc brakes, sprocket belt, all perfectly aligned and tightened to spec. Great job, FLX. Hey, Todd, thank you so much for that. It's amazing to have your feedback. Come on in, Mark.
I have arrived.
How are you doing, man?
Doing great. Been keeping myself really busy, getting a lot of tickets in. A lot of people are getting the bikes, which is great news. A lot of really basic questions too. So.
Hell yeah. Hey, do you mind scooting up just a tad?
Yeah, sure thing. Okay.
All right, looking good. Cool. All right, I've got a few questions saved for you. Everybody, this is Mark. Do you want to give a quick blurb about you and what you do here?
Yeah, sure thing. So my name is Mark. I'm one of the mechanics here. So we have a total of 2 mechanics at the facility in San Diego. We have Jason, and then myself. We're both bike techs. He's more on the electrical side of things, and I'm more on the mechanical side of things.
Hell yeah. So Mark's here to answer any questions you've got about making upgrades to your bike. If you got an issue, like for example with the brakes, etc., or you've got questions about specs, Mark is the guy to answer your questions. I got a couple for you. Do you know anything about front rack? Somebody asked, I want to put a front rack on the Baby Maker Pro. Do you have any suggestions?
So the only mounts that are on the fork are meant for the front fender. I have seen front racks that do mount there with the stays of the fender. When it comes to bikes in general, even though a lot of like racks always say that they're universal, there really is no solid answer, unfortunately. So I typically recommend customers bring your bike into a local bike shop and just see and then just try out racks, ask questions on the other sales associates to see what would be best. But most universal racks either will mount to that mounting point, or they'll just use zip ties to attach to the fork.
Awesome. All right, as a 5'5" rider, I'm looking for a narrower handlebar. The Baby Maker comes with a 19-inch width, and my other road bikes are 17-inch. Do you know where I can get a narrower handlebar?
So that's 455 millimeters. Anything smaller than that is a little hard. A lot of shops that specialize in fixies are going to have ones that are smaller, but just in general, that is already pretty small as it is. So finding anything smaller is just going to be difficult. But they do exist. They are out there. It just requires a bit more research.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Saddle post diameter, seat post diameter. You know it offhand?
On the Baby
On the
Maker?
Baby Maker, yeah. It was 30.4.
30.4. There it is.
Damn, I had it right. I didn't want to say it. Mark's the expert.
I always get it confused with the handlebar clamp diameter because that's 31.6. So I always get them confused.
We've got so many different bike models and variations that there's a lot of numbers to remember. Luckily, Mark's dealing with them every day. All right, let's see. So somebody did have a question about his brakes. He was saying he's getting a little noise from the brakes rubbing. We had a similar question the last time you were on. But have we made a video yet on that? I know that was on the list.
I don't believe so. I mean, when it comes to bikes with disc brakes in general, aligning the caliper with the rotor is very standard. The really easy way of doing it is to loosen the 2 bolts, keeping the caliper mounted onto the frame, and hold the corresponding brake lever. And it's really easy if you have 2 people. But with one hand, hold the lever. That will realign the caliper with the rotor. And then as you're doing that, tighten those bolts. Do keep in mind, when it comes to doing stuff like this, it can take 5 minutes or it can take 2 hours, depending on the experience of the individual. A lot of the time, it will work. Sometimes it won't. And it can be really frustrating. I typically recommend customers, if it takes more than 30 minutes, to go to a bike shop and have a mechanic do it. There are a lot of other ways to get it realigned as well, but that's kind of a professional selling. A professional should do it at that point, or should take it over at that point.
Awesome. Thank you. James Van de Veyer said, just measured the seat post. It is 30.4, so confirming that. Awesome. Let's see. Gene says, hi, Mark. Once I get my F5, could a dropper post be installed on it?
It's going to be externally routed. You might be able to fit an internal dropper post, but it's going to be a little tough with what is already inside the frame. You'll have better luck with something externally routed, but it's 100% possible. I've done it multiple times on bikes that aren't internally routed at all. And I personally like when bikes use externally routed Cables may for something like that, mainly because it makes it very easy to service. If the cable breaks, if the housing needs to be replaced, you don't have to take out the Z post and do all that rerouting. It would be right there, front and center.
Awesome. All right, Jeff asked, can you guys post a video on the brake adjustment? We trust FLX, maybe not other YouTubers. I had an off-center disc rubbing pad and long throw on the rear brake lever. Took forever searching YouTube.
So when it comes to stuff like that, Park Tool, they manufacture a ton of specialized bike tools for mechanics, and their video on hydraulic brake adjustment is the most detailed I've ever seen. And they go over multiple reasons as to why it could be happening and a lot of different solutions that you can tackle the issue. So I highly
Awesome.
recommend it, Park Tool.
Good suggestion. Yeah, they're a great channel. All right, Wayne says, when I select level 5 on my baby maker, I still have to pedal. Is that normal?
That's very normal. So understand that the bike is a single speed bike and it is a pedal assist bike. So at a certain point, depending on the situation, the bike will be giving it its all. And you'll just you're going to have to add your own watts to the bike to kind of get it at that certain speed or go even faster. So for something that's pedal assist, that's very normal.
Awesome. All right, let's see. All right, last question for you from Jordan. Hey, Mark, I think I asked before. Sorry if I did, but do you prefer mechanical or hydraulic disc brakes?
I believe you did ask me. I do prefer hydraulic. So both brake systems, they do offer reasonable braking power, but when it comes to hydraulic systems, they offer much more modulation. So if you're the type of person like me, you like to really feather your brakes, you don't just go full on when you pull. A hydraulic brake assemblies are fantastic for that, and there's lots of different types of brands that offer different levels of modulation. Like, for example, Shimano, they're very known for instant grab, really powerful brakes, while on the other side of the spectrum, you have a company like SRAM, which offers the most modulation, and then you have your other tinier companies in the middle, like Hope, TRP, Tektro, Trick Stuff. It really depends on your preference. Unfortunately, it's really just a matter of asking other riders what they think and trying out other bikes with different brake systems on them.
Awesome. All right, Mark, I think that's everything I've got for you. Thank you so much for your
Cool.
time today and for the continued great service for all our riders out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thank you for having me, guys.
Big round of applause. All right. I did skip over a bunch of questions here that were not mechanic related. I'm going to get to those right now. Simon, I see all your messages there. I will get to you as soon as we catch up on these questions here. So give me just a minute to catch up. I'm not ignoring anybody. We will get there once we pull through these questions. Jordan says, Rob, have you ever visited the plant in China? Baby maker plant, of course. So hoped you made a vid. Yes, Jordan. I actually used to live in the factory when we first started the company and did our first round of bikes in 2016. Yeah, we were there every single day. We were building bikes together, personally inspecting every single bike that came off the line. It was a lot of good fun. You can see those if you go to our YouTube channel and scroll way back to the beginning. You'll see inside the factory and some of the work we did in there. Right now, China is shut down to visitors due to COVID. Otherwise, I'd be there as we speak. I do speak fluent Chinese. I love being there. It's a cool place. As soon as it opens up again, you bet I'll be there and be personally filming videos so you guys can see them. All right, where was that question? I'm losing my place here. That was from... okay, Richard. I ordered my baby maker almost a year ago. I'm seeing all the updates and the news of thousands of bikes delivered, but I still haven't gotten my allocation letter. How much longer do I have to wait? Richard, we did set a target of July 31st to deliver all these bikes. We're right on track for the US, Canada, major market. Very tight for UK and EU, but it should be close. We've got a lot of momentum there. So sometime between now and then is when you'll see it. Please keep an eye out for emails from us. That they will tell you exactly when it's been allocated. We've got some shipments coming up, more allocation letters coming very soon, but we're at 75% shipped so far. Gene, very little info on the F5 online. Could you ask Ben or anyone else from the team to give us a bit more information about this bike? All we have at the moment is the What's New vid. Thank you, Rob. So that's an effort of Ben and the rest of the content team is to get more content on our other models, as we have been a little bit busy with the baby maker. Haven't had a lot of time to go out and film content on all our other bikes, which are really awesome. The F5 is a really, really sweet bike. So we'll be sure to get more info on it. There's a lot of info spec-wise on the product page, but not too many videos on the new F5, which is a really awesome bike. Raul9337 is only on the lifetime odometer. Are the instructions for the brake adjustments to eliminate the noise online by any chance? By the way, the bike is super cool and is an amazing investment. Awesome, Raul. I'm stoked you like the bike. As Mark mentioned, if you look up Park Tools video, we don't have that video on our YouTube yet. It's a really simple adjustment. There are different ways to adjust it too, but just look up disc brake adjustment Park Tool on YouTube, and you'll be able to find their video, which covers how to adjust hydraulic disc brakes, the caliper, the rotor, etc., so you don't get the rubbing. Eugene, great to see you on here. Very much looking forward to the San Diego FLX Fun Ride on Sunday, May 23rd. So that's this Sunday at 11 a.m. The details Eugene has posted on Facebook. We're going to be there, at least myself and some of the staff and some friends as well. We're looking to get a big group out there and have some fun on our electric bikes. Awakened Sleeper, for anyone who wants a refund, just be patient and wait. Keep it in the box and wait for FLX to update to retail pricing. Then sell it for close to retail. I'm sure you'll have no problem selling. Yeah, I have seen where folks get the bike and then put it for sale. They do go very fast. So if that's what you want to do, if you don't want the bike anymore, you're welcome to do that. John Brazil, Build Pure Cell. I almost waited a year for mine, and it is very much worth the wait. Thank you, John. Glad you got it, and I'm glad you think that. That's what we've heard from everybody who's got it. Really excited about that. I know it's an agonizing wait. I'm waiting right now. I ordered an iPad to do some flying with, and I've been waiting weeks. Nowhere near as long as you guys have been waiting, and it's eating me up inside. So I know the feeling. Absolutely, it sucks. But I know when it gets here, I'm going to be super happy, just like you guys are when you get your baby maker. Emerald Citizen, so happy the Sterling Baby Maker has coordinating accessories. It's going to look so sweet. Hell yeah. I'm getting that cotton mouth again. But we're getting caught up on questions. Simon, I'm almost at yours too. Just a couple more to go. Emerald Citizen, so happy the Sterling Baby Maker has... Oh, got that one. Richard Green, my receipt from Indiegogo is 12010. What was the total number of bikes ordered via Indiegogo? And what % of those have been delivered to date? So, Richard, I can give you some stats there. We're around 10,000 total bikes ordered. I don't have the exact number on hand. The number on Indiegogo is not the same number as what actual number. So, for example, we'll have order number 1, 2, and then it will just skip to like 6. And what that is sometimes people will add it to their cart, and that creates like an order number without actually submitting the order. So the numbers jump around on Indiegogo. Number 12,000 is not the 12,000th bike. You're probably more like the 8,000th or the 7,000th, something like that. But in terms of how many we've delivered, we list the status on our weekly updates. And this is the shipping status. So this means it has shipped out from the factory, not necessarily made it to your door yet, because we don't know the exact transit times and we don't have confirmation when every single bike has been delivered, but we know how many have been shipped. So that's the number that we list on the Indiegogo update. We're at 85% in the US, 30% in the UK, 40% in the EU, 87% in Canada, 96% in New Zealand, 96% in Australia, 54% of low volume locations, for a grand total of 75% shipped as of yesterday. There will be more allocated soon, but that's 3/4 of the way there, third base, and we're bringing it home in the next 2 months. Chris Link, got it. Thank you. Simon, okay, Simon, I see you've got a lot of questions here about your bike, and I saw your comment on the YouTube question. So, in a nutshell, your bike was there. This is what I understand so far. your bike was built, went to the fulfillment center, and what we do is we send your address to the fulfillment center to send your bike on. Obviously VAT has to be paid in the UK. From what I understand, you emailed saying you were filing a chargeback, and so when that happens, there is a risk that that might go through. Most of the times we win those, but because of that, we have to put a stop on your order because it's happened in the past where we've lost bikes because it was shipped and then something like a chargeback happened or something, and then the person ended up with both the bike and the money. And so because of that, it's our company policy whenever there is a chargeback, we have to stop the order until that is completely resolved so that we can't lose that bike and the money, if that makes sense to you. So that's what Troy was trying to explain. Keep in mind, it's not Troy's job to do customer service. So we let him know, please let our rider support team handle it. That's probably why he's not calling you, Simon. That's not his job. But as soon as we resolve that, your bike's going to go to you. We'll get it sorted out, Simon. There's no not trying to upset you, not trying to screw you over in any way. You ordered the bike, you get the bike, but we do need to resolve that issue first. James got you. Bill, I do not know what the word inducement means. Bill, will COVID affect production? So far, COVID-19 has had zero effect on production. All of our overseas production facilities are working in full force. We don't foresee any delays due to the coronavirus. Yes, Bill, when we wrote that, that was 100% true. Our production was not affected. It wasn't until after COVID kind of took place, March, April, May, June is when the shit kind of hit the fan in the bike industry, and all of the major bike companies, they started placing double and triple orders because they were seeing this boom in bikes and they wanted to make sure they had their bases covered. So they were placing Shimano components, Magura components, everything, just massive, massive orders. And they brought lead times from just several months for most components to 2 years on a lot of components. So that's why if you go to bike shops, et cetera, nobody's got bikes in stock, including us. It's very tough to get components. But luckily, we ordered everything earlier than that 2-year massive lead time jump. We did get a head start. It's just taken a bit longer than we expected. Trev Nod, how many total UK deliveries will there be? Trying to get an idea of when I might expect mine, you see. I think we've got 600 to the UK, Trev Nod, and we've sent 2 containers, so that's approximately 200, give or take 10, 15%. Tony Chan, and from UK, how do I know which UK lot I belong to? Tony, when your bike is allocated, we'll send you an email. So once it gets built, we do have another UK shipment coming up next week, so we'll be sending out some emails on that. If you're in that, you'll get an email saying, hey, your bike's been built, allocated to you, and it's on its way with approximate delivery date of whenever. Gene, hi Mark. Once I get my F5, okay, we got you, Gene. Yes, you can install a dropper. It will need to have an externally routed cable. Trev Nod. Mark, if I get to 88 miles per hour on my Baby Maker when it arrives, will I be able to go back to the future? 100%. Chris Link, question for Mark. How to fix if the wheels wiggle. Chris, you want to make sure that your axle is in there correctly. Check your spokes as well. I would definitely recommend taking it into a bike shop. Have them check it out, as it is a high-speed bike. You don't want to do any guesswork on something like that. Simon, your final question. Are you going to hang on to my money without delivering the bike? Absolutely not. You order a bike, you get a bike. John, Bill, the entire bike industry exploded last spring due to COVID, and you could not find a bike to buy, and only this spring has the industry got back to normal, almost normal. Oh, hey, losing my spot here. Hang on, the comments just jumped. Simon, why doesn't Rachel answer her cell phone? Simon, please don't call our employees on their cell phones. We do have a support email address. I understand somebody's cell phone was got off LinkedIn or something. That does go against our company privacy policy. Our employees, they do work 9 to 5. After that, we hope they have some privacy in their own time. But we will get this issue sorted for you, Simon. Again, there is a bit of administrative work to go through because of that chargeback deal. But once it's resolved, your bike will be on its way. William, I'm excited to get my bike tomorrow. FedEx has confirmed, and it will be my birthday tomorrow as well. Happy birthday to me. Congrats, William, and happy birthday. Really stoked that the dates worked out that way. What a great birthday present. Jordan, Rob, to be honest, I have another brand e-bike. Can I still attend the ride? Yes, all e-bikes welcome. We're not discriminating. So, it doesn't matter if it's an e-bike, even another personal electric vehicle. I don't mind it all. There's going to be baby makers. I'm sure there's going to be other bikes as well. Not an issue. We're just there to have some fun and have a good ride. Arturo is the 5'7" minimum height required for suspension seat for the F5. The same requirement for the Blade. I'm 5'5". Actually, Arturo 5'5", you should be fine on the Blade. The Blade does have it's got a sweeping top tube that goes all the way back. So the minimum seat height is actually quite lower on that than the Baby Maker. The Baby Maker's got a straight top tube. The Blade comes down so it can accommodate more heights of riders. CR, where is my Baby Maker I bought 1 year ago? CR, I know it's an agonizing wait. They're all being built. We're 75% shipped now. In the next 2 months, they will all be delivered. So please hang tight. Andy, so excited. I got my bike yesterday in Bondurant, Iowa. Awesome. I wonder if you're at the racetrack there. You should take it in. Simon, we've talked about this. Unfortunately, I won't be able to get into more detail here on the live. We will get this sorted for you, so please work with our rider support team via email. But yeah, we're absolutely committed to delivering your bike. You ordered it. We just need to make sure we're covered on that chargeback. Nobody's trying to screw you over. If there was no chargeback, the bike would have shipped to you immediately. Andy, when do we get the extra things we ordered? Are they coming separately? Andy, yes, they are coming separately. So things like touring packages, extra batteries, fast chargers, those are all shipping separately from the bike. Our priority is to ship as many bikes as possible, good quality bikes, as soon as possible. And the other components, touring packages, batteries, etc., when there's time, we ship them out. But there's got to be capacity in both the shipping containers, in the production, and our logistics team to get that done. So they're coming. We've shipped many of them out. The rest of them are coming as time permits. Okay, I'm getting a little bit lost in these comments. Again, Simon, I'm not here to have an argument at all, but we'll work it out with you. Raul, thanks for the Park Tool info. Is charging the full every day a good idea? Jump for me again. Also, leaving charger connected for extended period, okay, does it go into trickle charge? Raul, I don't recommend leaving it connected always. If it's a night or two, it's not a big deal at all. It is a smart charger, so it will cut off once the battery is charged, but it does trickle a little bit, sending info back and forth. I just charge it up, take the plug out when you can. As far as charging to full every day, there's a lot of information online. Some from people who know what they're talking about, some from people who don't as well. For me, this is my personal preference. I charge it to full. I'll run it to whatever's comfortable. They last a long time, and eventually, maybe my battery will wear out. A couple months before somebody else's. It's worth it just to save all the stress of worrying exactly what percent to charge it to, etc. Uh, it's not an expensive battery. After 2-3 years, if you replace it, it will have been well worth the peace of mind of just being able to charge it and go and not have to worry about it. Gene, great job, Rob. Really appreciate you putting yourself out there live to take the abuse from us customers. I'm sure FLX will go far under your leadership. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Gene. I really appreciate it. It's definitely not the easiest thing in the world to get up here and know that you've disappointed a lot of people in terms of the delivery estimates, the estimated shipping dates, which the majority of bikes are shipping out after those estimates that we laid out. So that's on us. That's our fault. But we're doing everything we can to build and ship the bikes. We're 75% of the way there, and the rest of them are coming within the next couple months. So thanks, Gene, for the vote of support. And I'm so happy to hear from everybody when they get their bikes, how happy they are, and that it was worth the wait. Andril, what do you think about bamboo bikes? They're a novelty. I mean, they're cool. In my opinion, it's a novelty. So they look great as a decoration. They're neat. They'll built in a cool way. I don't think they'll ever be mainstream, but they're certainly really neat and cool. I think they're beautiful. Alphonse, how many miles should you get on full charge if you weigh 200 pounds? I can't tell you exactly what range you'll get. There are a lot of factors that will affect that. If you're going up hills, what kind of terrain you're on. If you're on super flat, hard roads, it will be better. Your tire pressure also will affect it. In general, most riders, if you're on level 5 and you're really pushing it, so that's going to be, like max motor power or heavier loads, high hills, you get between 12 and 20 miles. If you ride in like economy mode, you're trying to stretch it, some people are getting over 50 miles. So there's a big range. CR, my order is under Cristobal Lopez. I'd appreciate checking. Thank you. CR, I will not be able to check that for you. But once it does get built and allocated, we will be sending you an email on that. Alphonse, I get about 8 to 10 miles per charge. Is that normal for a baby maker? Yeah, I'd say for 200 pounds, that's not unreasonable. There are a few things you can do to stretch that range. One is reducing weight. So if you're carrying any gear, wearing any heavy clothes, carrying things in your pocket, anything you can do to reduce weight will increase your range. Also, check your tire pressure. The more inflated your tires are, don't exceed the tire pressure recommendations on the sidewall of the tire. But the harder those tires are, the further it's going to roll. If you baby it through other levels rather than 5, so 3, 4, etc., you're going to get further range. Also, if you go easy on the brakes and kind of coast through things, that will increase your range as well. Chris, thanks for this live. Rob, you are rocks. God bless you and FLX team always. God bless you too, Chris. Thanks for always showing up to the live. We really appreciate your continued support, and I'm stoked for your baby maker to arrive. Alphonse says, hey, can I get your cell phone? I will only call after 7 p.m. Unfortunately not. I don't give my cell phone, my email out. The reason for that is I just can't answer everything. I don't even do my own emails anymore. I can't get to them all. My time's better spent talking to you guys here, which is what I absolutely love doing. William, bicycles, components, home appliances, hot tubs, and all things luxury for home use were extremely difficult to get during Corona, not due to lockdowns, but due to tremendous increase in demand. I waited all summer for a deep freeze and finally gave up on it last year. FLX is in no way a malicious culprit for these delays. Thank you so much, William, for shedding some light on the COVID situation. Yeah, things blew up and people got free money too. They weren't, a lot of people were at home, not much to do. So a lot of online shopping picked up tremendously. The bike industry was no exception to that. And that's why things are running a bit slower than normal, but slowly getting back to normal. Andrew, no bamboo bikes, no innovation. You will go out of relevance. All right. Thank you for that feedback. We'll keep it in mind. Andy, wish I could send you a pic. Trevnod says, Simon, I don't have my bike yet, and I'm not complaining. Thank you, Trevnod, for your continued patience. Andy, weight is way worth it, everyone. John Train, guess I'm silly, but CSCL Bohai C T61 just docked at Smith Island in LA. Think mine's on that ship. Hell yeah. Jordan, remember all good things come to those who wait. This is going to be a long live, you guys, but we're almost there. Jordan, Rob, I commend your patience with all the crying about when my bike will arrive, etc. Good job, hun. Thank you, Jordan. They are all coming, and I get it. I'd be annoyed too. Sarah, for example, she didn't get her bike. Our own Team FLX, Sarah, was waiting a very long time to get her bike. CR, what does the 1-year warranty cover? That's everything on the bike from manufacturer's defect or failure. So just an example, if you crash the bike, nothing's going to be covered under warranty as it was your fault. If it gets run over, same thing. But if the motor just stopped working out of nowhere within that 1-year warranty, that's probably going to be covered by warranty. If the handlebars just fell off and they were installed correctly, that'll be covered too. But it does not cover wear and tear. So things like the belt wearing out due to crazy continuous use, putting 30,000 miles on the bike, that won't be covered. Brake pads won't be covered. That's an expendable. But anything from defect or failure. Simon, hey, you finally worked out how to block me. Took your time. Simon, that's not me, actually. And I'm actually going to chew out the team for doing that. I welcome all your comments here. Why did you give me the wrong track number? Simon, I didn't give you any tracking numbers, but our team does send out emails. Simon, we have discussed this, so I won't be taking any more arguments here. That we're here to answer questions. We have talked about your case in detail, so unfortunately won't be able to get into it with you. James, I can confirm that this is a quick bike, 30 miles per hour on slight downhill gradients, easily achieved without increasing the max EU assist speed from 15 miles per hour. I assume that at this speed, I'm doing all the work. Yes, James, if you have a 15 mile per hour cutoff, the motor's going to cut off after 30, and after that, it's all you. So great to hear the bike is still going fast. If you're in a place where your laws permit, you'll be able to adjust that speed up to 28, so the motor won't cut out on you. Again, for the EU, the speed limit is 15 miles per hour, 25 kilometers per hour. But if you're off-road, check your local regulations, etc. You could change that to fit your local laws. Frank just got my bike. It's amazing, Rob. Thanks. Frank, so excited that you got the bike. Thank you for your patience, and enjoy it. Ride safe. These comments are hilarious. Paul, Rob and all got the Baby Maker. Love it. Thanks. It's worth the wait. One thing you might want to do is make sure folks fully charge their battery. The manual says 4 to 8 hours the first times. I lost power the first time by not fully charging it. Second time, I did charge it for 8 hours. No problem. Hey, Paul, I'm glad you got the Baby Maker, and thanks for that tip. We'll definitely be sure to mention it. So if you are just receiving the Baby Maker, be sure to fully charge that battery so you don't get stuck out with a dead battery on your first ride out. All right, we are all caught up on the questions. Simon, again, we've talked in great detail about this. Your bike was ready to be delivered. You mentioned filing a chargeback. We had to hold the bike. As soon as that gets resolved, that means an appropriate amount of time passes, so we know that there's no chargeback filed. We'll be able to deliver that. So please hang tight, Simon. We will get it resolved. Nobody's trying to keep your money and the bike. That's not our goal at all. Our goal is to build and deliver that bike for you, which we almost did until that small minor issue. But I understand where you're coming from. We will take care of it. We'll sort it out. Please work with our rider support team. They will get you sorted out in no time. Sheldon, hey Rob, I just ordered 2 Baby Maker on May 5th. Is there an estimate on time of shipment name? Thanks, Rob. Really excited about my Baby Makers. Sheldon, if you're May 5th of this year, like 2 weeks ago, you'll be at towards the end of this massive backlog of orders. However, we are on target to finish shipping all U.S. Baby Makers by July 31st, so yours will be pretty much right after that. Frank, where do I find the information on how to change the max speed? Frank, that's published in the official FLX Baby Maker Owners Group on Facebook. If you go in there and just search like speed limit, you'll find some posts with instructions on that. For legal reasons, we cannot provide that, but some users have posted that. Jordan, if you got $1 for every complaint, you'd be a rich man. Aw. Thank you, Frank. I'm not proud of that. We don't want to have complaints as a company. You know, we did have very ambitious goals with the Baby Maker campaign, and we didn't fulfill, you know, according to our shipping estimates. We're quite a ways past that for most of the bikes. So I'm really disappointed by that, but we're making it right. We are going to ship all these bikes. We did have a delivery guarantee, and we stand by that. You order a bike, you get a bike. James, thanks, Rob. Appreciate the stamina and communication with us customers. Thank you, James, for your patience. All right. That's everything, guys. Those are all the questions. Thank you so much for tuning into the live. If you have not got your Baby Maker yet, please hang tight. It is just around the corner. We are working our butts off. 75% of the way there, third base, and bringing it home over the next 2 months. Everybody who has got your Baby Maker, you probably have no reason to watch the live anymore, but the few folks who did tune in, we really appreciate you. Please ride safe out there. Enjoy the bike, and I'll see you next week.